Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Late night with Rick the Rasslin Dad and his boys. It's time to stick in the boots and stretch them out. I am joined by my co-hosts, my compadres, my companions, mis amigos. Drew, the Desperado Etherton, sitting directly to my right, and Senior Jeff, the Body Rutledge, sitting at the far end of the table. Gentlemen, yeah, it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, it's been too long.
It has been too long. We are making a promise to our fans.
Our viewers.
Our viewers.
Two or three of them.
We are making a promise.
To our viewers.
We will be making a weekly habit out of Rick the Rasslin Dad and his boys. You can expect us Wednesday evenings, which is tonight Wednesday?
Nope.
Tonight's Wednesday. Yes, it is.
Good. So Wednesday evenings is when Rick the Rasslin Dad and his boys are. It's we've had some camps going on. We've had some things kind of in the works these last couple weeks, so it's been hard. Final X, we had that.
Big wrestling talk.
Right in town.
Ooh.
Wow.
Doesn't get any closer than that.
It was sick. It was nasty. And speaking of Final X, I think it's time to break out the old headgear of shame to get the show
why
started.
would that be?
Who's
receiving it? And who's receiving it right
Where's
now?
McCurdy? Where's Old Dogger?
The headgear of shame goes to none other than the Body, Jeff Rutledge.
Why would that be?
Well, let me tell you something, Drew. Mr. Rutledge doubted me. I said, mark my words, Final X will not be sold out. Guess what? Wasn't sold out.
No, got a ticket that day, actually. I didn't think I was going to be able to go. And then got it walked up, pretty much.
Okay, let me take over here. Shame on you, Lincoln. You have the best wrestling in the entire country. All of the best wrestlers coming to Lincoln, Nebraska. And we don't have a sold-out crowd in the Bobby Devaney Sports Center. Shame on you, Lincoln. If you like wrestling and you are not there, you're a bad person.
Now, I will say one thing. You didn't need to buy the $100 floor seats like this guy bought because he had to stand up to watch.
Hey.
Oh, my goodness.
Our seats, I got mine for $25 from someone. I only went to the second session. Sorry about that. Not really. I'm not sorry at all. But he had to stand up to watch. Paid $100 for floor seats. We had a better seat than him.
Okay. It's going to do more justice, actually, if I tell the story, because Jeff was shaming me. He was shaming me.
Like he just shamed all of you who didn't go.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably that's going to come back to bite him in
Shame
the
on
rear
you,
end.
and I do not revoke that statement.
So he was shaming me for not being willing to buy the $100 ticket for Final X, which was a floor seat, also known as a VIP seat.
Like you thought you were going Drake,
I did.
And you were like the guy on the upper tier.
It was VIP.
Of the first, like where you could maybe walk down to the NBA court.
No. Hold on.
But then if there was a guy who was 7 foot stood up or sat in front of you and you couldn't see.
I made eye contact with Tom Brands down there, so that was worth it.
So
Tom and Terry,
No,
I don't know which
not
one it
worth
was.
it.
I'm assuming you blinked first.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why it wasn't worth it. You couldn't see the dang wrestling.
All right.
He had one of our wrestlers text him and say, "Hey, too bad you couldn't see this, Jeff. The wrestling's great." I lost it. I
Okay.
was laughing.
Can I have a little segment here?
You can have a
All right,
segment.
go.
Okay, thank you. So, back to my spiel about not being there and supporting the sport of wrestling. Yeah, I thought I was going to be front and center with my VIP ticket. Turns out, I was in the 9th row, and I literally had to stand during Jordan Burroughs' match. Now, that being said, would I go back and do it differently? No,
Yes,
I wouldn't.
you would.
No, I would not. This is why. Because I want to support the sport of wrestling. And people like you who are wanting to be cheap.
Oh, I'm
All
going
right.
to support the sport of wrestling by viewing it, and we're gonna break it down, and you're not gonna know what went on unless you rewatched it on the Flow account
No,
that I steal from you.
That's a lie. I literally was.
Which I have rewatched.
I watched it. Okay, I watched it. I can continue. I can go back and watch them with my Flow Wrestling account that I purchased because I want to support the sport of wrestling and see wrestling continue to grow. But people that are unwilling to do so financially, you are bad people.
Okay, this actually is, we need to devote some time to this right here and now on the podcast.
I'd love to.
We got into this and it was never really truly resolved. the big issue is that the tickets were too expensive. Okay? There were so many people that I knew personally that wanted to go and were planning on going until they found out that the minimum amount for a ticket was $45.
How many people? Are you talking about your mom right now?
My mother is one of them.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and do the second one.
My wife would be another one.
These are
I don't
casual
believe
fan
that.
people who are just like, oh, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. Which sadly, for some reason, the wrestling community is that way. A lot of people are, and that makes a difference. And it's not like it was packed. You could have fit double the people, for sure, and made him $30.
I would say $20.
$35.
Yeah, cut the price.
Well, now they're
cut
not
the
making
price in
money.
half.
Now they're not making
But if you, yeah, okay, that's a good point. Maybe
Or-
$30 is more
Nah.
reasonable.
Or, I was going to say sell single session tickets, but that might not be that.
Hey, it should have been more filled. Now, I disagree with the fact that they were overpriced at 40 tickets. It is the best wrestling.
$45, right?
$40.
45 if you bought it online. 40 if you bought it at the door.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Somewhere around $40. But there are people that love the sport of wrestling and most definitely watched it on their Flow Wrestling subscription that should have been at the meet supporting the wrestling.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
also
we
one of
all.
those- hey,
I'm not going to call people out. I know people, and those people know who they are.
Are you shaming them publicly right
I'm
now?
publicly shaming them because now
All right.
it is never coming back to Lincoln, Nebraska. We're done with the World Team Trials. We're done with the Olympic Trials. We have the perfect space in Bob Devaney Sports Center. It would if we packed out that place, it would be the most awesome tournament possible. Okay, and we did that at the the World Team Trials. It was literally the best wrestling event that I ever went to in 2017 when Jordan Burroughs beat Kyle Dake. That place was electric.
Okay.
Now, I think a lot of it has to do with, Final X, right? There's a different format. There's two different locations. But the other part of it is the effect of, okay, I've already seen it. I've already done that. I've already experienced it. I can just watch it on Flow, so I'll just do that.
First of all, I literally showed you the video of 2 years ago, Burroughs Dake, and it was not packed. It was
Definitely packed. It was definitely packed.
It was a better environment than this past weekend. Yes, I'll give you that. But there was open seats.
It was packed. It was packed. Now, was it sold out? I would agree with you. It was not sold out, considering that there were some seats on benches that were still available, but it was a packed house. The place was electric. And people were saying, I'm talking, everybody in the wrestling community said, this is the best wrestling tournament that I have ever attended. And it was awesome, but we couldn't do that for 2 years straight, and we're never going to see wrestling in Lincoln again.
Well, I mean, I hope we see wrestling in
I
Lincoln
think wrestling
again
will keep happening.
at some
Geez, you're
point.
getting a little dramatic. Right
I think
now.
you know what I meant, and I'm angry.
Well,
I'm upset.
So most people
But
might not.
let me say this: I somewhat identify as now that they start airing church live. 10:45 a.m.'s not looking so nice. Okay, so let's just say I maybe missed a couple times. So I get the idea for lazier people if they can watch it on TV, but I agree you should still be there pretty much on principle. If it's in Lincoln, it's like your kid. You should probably go view. You should probably go.
That's a great point. It's like your kid.
Yeah, but like I don't know if I'm the church's kid, so I'm just like, yeah.
I'm gonna be that dad that
I'm like,
like
hey
child
church,
of God.
why church? Why don't you just put a little Venmo thing on there and okay, you get your offering that way? You know what I'm saying?
by the time I'm a dad, it's gonna be like they're gonna have the technology to where like third grade swimming meets are gonna be streamed online. I'll be like, I'll be supporting you from the couch, Timmy.
I'll leave you a like, maybe even a share.
I'll put it up on my social platforms.
Hey, regardless, I'm angry, I'm upset, but I was wrong in the argument that we had before that Final X Lincoln would be sold out. It was not close sold out. I'm angry, and I am now wearing the headgear of shame.
That's right. All right, let's move on. So, speaking of Final X, let's talk matches. Burroughs Imar. Filthy. Best 2 out of 3 series went all 3 matches. Burroughs gets it done in the last 20 seconds of the first match. Imar takes the second match on criteria, 5-5, I believe.
Yeah,
Burroughs comes back and whoops his tail. Third match.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start it off. I'm done doubting JB. I'm done doubting JB.
Oh, is that right?
Wow, I don't know.
It took
sorry.
9 freaking years.
5 world titles later.
No.
And you're done doubting him.
I'm just saying.
Congratulations. That's being like, you know what? I'll be honest. I think that's Steve Jobs. He was onto something. Like, yeah, duh.
All right, hey, I want
What?
to tell all the people. I want to tell all the people right now.
No, wait, hold on.
Can I tell this?
What?
Do it, dude.
Let me tell
Just
it.
that I thought Dake was going to win or what?
No,
Oh.
something else about your JB stuff.
Yeah.
No, because JB's probably going to be watching this at some point.
Obviously.
Well,
JB, I love you, and I think you're an excellent role model for the kids.
Okay, but back in 2012, Keenan and I are walking the streets of London, and he literally just won an Olympic title, and I'm so freaking jacked up about it. And Keenan over here is he's like genuinely upset the fact that Jordan Burroughs just won the Olympics.
Okay, he just did this with. He's the king of over-exaggeration. I was not literally upset. I was saying that I felt, in my honest opinion, that let's see, who was he? Well, which Russian was he wrestling at that point?
Oh, you
in time?
were
It would've
cheering
been-
for the
no,
Russian?
Hold on,
Oh,
let me
wow.
finish. Would the guy let me finish a statement?
Go ahead.
What was the? It was. Now, who did he wrestle before Godoy? The 2-time world champ from, or no, well, he's 3-time world champ now. Sargouche. He was wrestling Sargouche, Olympic semifinals, 2012, London. And all I said was, wow, he got the last second step out on Sargouche.
You are a
all
liar.
I said was, wow, I really thought Sargouche deserved to win that match based upon just how each guy wrestled. It was something along those.
But he
lines.
didn't score as many points.
I know. I mean, JB won. I mean, props to him. He wins at the end. He can't. Yeah.
All right, if we're not going to be truthful on this podcast, then let us. I mean,
Here's what
we
is
can
actually
just talk
happening.
whatever we want.
You're harboring. What you're doing is you're harboring the fact that I said I thought if Askren was going to keep wrestling, or no, actually we had an argument, Burroughs versus Askren in Scholastic in folk style.
Don't call it folk style scholastic.
That's what it is. We
I feel
wrestle
like
it
I'm
in
at
the
a book
schools.
fair and I'm in 4th grade and I'm going through the Scholastic books and you know the smell of that place. You're just like, yo, I'm gonna read. And you wanted to read hard,
What?
like
Man.
for 2 hours.
What
and
style?
You get the books and you don't want to read them.
Where do we wrestle folk style? Where do we wrestle it?
It's called folk style. That's what folk.
Because
every
we're in the United States of
most
America.
countries have a folk style. It's called folk style because that's their folk style.
We wrestle it in our schools,
No, you wrestle it. It's
which
your
is why we call
country
it
style.
Scholastic.
So it cannot be wrestled outside of
Well,
school places.
Yeah.
Places
He's
of
saying-
school.
Well, I don't think the folk style makes sense. Scholastic is.
Anyway, let's move on to that.
I'll be honest. Don't know what the word scholastic.
Okay,
is.
I'm gonna be honest with our people. Okay, and I'm not allow you to lie.
Okay.
All right. Now, this is what happened. We did have an argument about Coach Curry, Keenan over here. He was talking about, or Rick, excuse
You
me.
can call him Rick.
We were having a discussion about whether Ben Askren would defeat Jordan Burroughs. I said absolutely not. That's ridiculous in folk style wrestling. Now, I entertain the thought. You know, they just wrestled at Beat the
Not right
Streets.
now.
It was an absolute slaughterfest for Jordan Burroughs. In their prime, it would have been sweet to see a folk style match in which scrambling would be involved and to see some mat wrestling. I give you that. Okay, but let me finish. You were upset because his Twitter handle was at all I see is gold, and you thought it was cocky, and therefore you were rooting against him.
Okay, I wasn't rooting against him. I did think it was a bit arrogant. I wasn't rooting against him.
Who's rooting against him, folks?
I'm from the United States of America.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought it was terrible.
Hey, what do you guys think folk style? Okay, JB obviously just got done absolutely shellacking Ben Askren. Beat the streets. Folk style match JB versus Ben Askren right now. Does he just do the same thing to him?
It'd be that's
It's-
weird to think about. It'd be different, but I mean, he would take him down. And,
He just take him down, let him up.
yeah.
Just take him down, let him. It'd be old school Iowa style.
Do you have an experience with that?
I didn't know that. I thought they were gonna start the matches, and then
Coach Etherton's older brother actually had an experience with that with
Oh,
JB.
yeah.
That's true.
Well, first time it was went to double overtime.
Yeah, it was a good match first.
Or went to overtime.
Yeah, that's actually you just basically slapped him in the face more because first match they had was a good match.
Yeah, first
freshman
match
year,
was a good match.
and then sophomore
And
year.
then almost Tech, 14 points.
Yikes, sorry.
Made some
Brian,
adjustments.
we love you. Not as much as we love
JB, we love you too. And
Hey,
Keenan
JB,
does
for
love
the
you
record,
now.
I love you. I've never rooted against you. So
No, he that's a lie. That he has
That might
actually.
be a lie.
let's move on. We got matches to talk about. Gilman Fix.
Okay, hey, let's we need to talk about this Burroughs IMR thing, and I hope he's not listening to this right now. And I don't think he will.
I really hope he's not listening to this. He's gonna freaking come to my house and cut me in half in a double leg, probably while I'm asleep.
But you deserved it. All right. So listen to the Rudis podcast, big fan, this morning, and they were talking about the rumor that's going around. You guys know a rumor that's going around about this Burroughs controversy?
Burroughs controversy?
So the rumor is that Burroughs never made weight on the actual scale that they were
Oh,
doing
that's a
the
lie.
weigh-ins.
That's a lie.
Now, there's several things that lead me to believe. One, Dernlin, what's his first name on the Rudis
Matt
podcast?
Dernlin.
Matt Dernlin said that this is rumors going around with a lot of different people that were in the room during weigh-ins. He said that he checked that he was on the scale and it said 174.1 for several seconds, and then he stepped off and they said, "You're good." And the reason why it makes me think is one, well, obviously there was a panic, right? He literally stripped down. I'm at the rail yard. We're all at the rail yard. The women in the rail yard start like screaming, "Woo!"
So he got naked on the jumbotron in the rail yard, which is where the Flow was having their
yes,
pre-Final X party, I guess.
yeah. And
Outdoor
everyone's
ring.
like having fun, and I'm like immediately in absolute turmoil because I'm thinking Jordan Burroughs is not going to make weight. And he's changed singlets. He got back on. It's still there was never like a yes kind of moment. It was like confusing, and I still didn't know. I had to like check my Twitter if whether he made weight or not. But after at the end, in his post interview, he said, "I don't care what people say. I made weight." And what he was referring to was that he had made weight before the actual weigh-ins. He said that he was like 2 pounds under, and he drank up. That he drank up and he checked his weight in the Nebraska wrestling room, and then went down to the scale, and he didn't ever check weight on the actual scale that they were going to weigh in on, and everybody else did, and then he was over by 0.1.
Okay, well, even if that were true, I don't think who is conducting the weigh-ins? Flow Wrestling? I mean, Bader was the one that was weighing him in.
Officials, I'm sure it's not
Yeah,
Bader
it couldn't
that's
be
checking weight.
Flow because Flow's not right.
Bader
It
was-
have to be USA Wrestling officials.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah,
and
it has to be.
that's my point is USA Wrestling officials are not just going to, 0.1, you're good.
If you're Jordan Burroughs,
In Lincoln.
could you imagine if that match did not
I mean,
happen?
like, people in the crowd, once they found out what was going on, it was like, this is... I have no idea. I don't know. This is the first I've heard of this, but I remember talking to people in there, and they're like, a Final X in Lincoln without Burroughs,
Why would Burroughs say I
that's
don't?
an interesting storyline.
We can go back to the post interview, but why would Burroughs say I don't care what people are saying? I made the weight.
Probably because he made weight.
Why would he need to say that if he actually made the weight?
People are probably just, this is what people do. They're probably speculating, saying, JB changed singlets and never made weight because they knew that he was close. When in reality, he celebrated. Or he changed singlets. Can we pull, we should see if we can pull up the video. He changed
Might
singlets,
not be able to do that.
got back on, and then he did like a little clap or something like that right after he got back on the second time.
I think you're making that up.
I'm pretty sure that happened. But regardless, I
believe it.
I am a non-conspiracy theorist, as you all know. Well,
Yeah, I don't.
except
believe
for
in, I don't
except for
believe in that
Bigfoot,
crap.
except for the Squatch.
Oh, yeah, but that's not really.
It's not really
that's
That's
conspiracy.
real.
a theory. That's more of.
It's proven.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't know. Okay, interesting. That's a story I hadn't heard yet. So
I had that weird feeling like things weren't right. It didn't seem right.
Did he put on a different singlet? Probably a lighter. I think it's dumb you have to weigh in with a singlet. I don't understand that. Why don't you have to weigh in with shoes and socks? Like, I don't get that with high school either. Why do you have to weigh in like that? I took great pride in weighing in naked in high school, even when I didn't need to.
No, you
I
can't
was just out there and I was just feeling myself.
The reason
Alright.
you can't,
Just getting that breeze in.
the reason you can't do that anymore is, you're saying why can't you weigh in with socks and shoes on?
Why can't you wear in naked?
Why did you say?
No, you can weigh in with stuff. No, I go. So if you have to weigh in with a singlet, why don't you have to weigh in with socks and shoes or whatever you're gonna wear out to wrestle? And maybe you don't have to wear shoes when wrestling, and you have to wear a singlet. I guess maybe that's the only argument you could make. But why don't you have to wear all that crap when you weigh in?
What if you have to weigh
you
in
go barefoot. It'd be like Pat Downey's doing like the barefoot assassin. You could do that. Barefoot assassin.
the BFA.
Yeah, the BFA. It's like shoeless Pat Downey.
The old BFA. All
Hey,
right.
at the very least, though, they talked about the scales being different, and Jordan Burroughs did say Final X flow. I don't know if I'm being critical or what, but you got to figure that out.
Well,
so there
they
was
also
a
had it on-
discrepancy.
They also had it on carpet, which is a huge difference. Like, you can't have it on carpet. You have to have it on a solid ground. Carpet can throw everything off.
What I heard that what probably was going on was there was a check scale in the wrestling room, which was the Huskers,
Yes.
University of Nebraska's. There was a scale in the weigh-in room, which was USA Wrestling's. So obviously that kind of makes sense that there's probably gonna be a discrepancy there. It's just amazing that you would think that all the athletes would go up and check on the official scale.
What they said is that everybody did except for Burroughs.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of weird.
So, okay, regardless, real quick, I mean, this is, maybe we don't need to be real quick because this is like the marquee match of Final X Lincoln.
Yep, it's true.
But do you think the weight cut, do you think he had a strong weight cut? Do you think that it affected him? Because JB looked off the first two matches. He looked like himself the third, but he looked off in the first two.
I got to say, and this is where I go back to where I'm saying that I'm never doubting him again, because I was picking Imar in the third match.
I was too.
After Burroughs won the first match, I was like, okay, he's rolling him in two. It's going to be two and done for Burroughs. After Imar steals that second match, I'm like, I think I don't know if it's just, the age thing is catching up with him. I know people are thinking that, although I don't really actually buy that argument. But I was doubting in that moment. I was like, man, Imar's got the momentum. He's gonna take match 3, and then Burroughs comes out and dominates. So I think the fact that Burroughs wrestled the best in match 3 would lend you to believe that possibly the weight cut had something to do with it, because by the time match 3 rolled around is when he was probably experiencing more hydration than, his body was receiving the liquids and electrolytes that he was putting into it more by the time he hit match 3. So,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. He
Also, I do think Burroughs, I don't know if this is a thing. Maybe this is just my conspiracy theory about him, is like, I think he likes to leave it late a little bit. Because you could see, I mean, he comes out in that match 7 where back against the wall, and he puts 6 on him in the first period.
Match 7.
Match 3. Match 3, he beats him 7-0, but he puts 6 on him in the first period.
7-1. I think he beat him 7-1. Yeah,
well,
you're
but
right.
it was a 6-0 at the break.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's what I was sitting there talking to one of our wrestlers, and I go, yeah, for me to feel comfortable right now, he's got to put 6 on him in the first, which was weird because he did. And that was like more grit. That was push-outs. That was gritty go-behinds. That wasn't his blast, which actually he did not get one blast double in any of the matches there. So maybe that's Aymar and his
Yeah,
defense.
I mean,
But it was all go-behinds or push-outs. Those are his only scores. And I just wonder if he can leave it late a little too much sometimes, and because you see that he's had a lot of really exciting come from behind wins or very at the end of the match wins.
I almost would. I've been wondering if he knows that he's really effective at scoring in the last 30 seconds when he needs to, and he likes to have that little punch on like left in the gas tank, that little turbo boost in the gas tank. He likes to leave that hanging around for the last 30 seconds just in case he needs it. I don't know.
It could be that too.
I don't know.
And it's always really exciting, and he's obviously in his, not his hometown, but where he went to college, and he's had a lot of those. So I wasn't like that worried. He just kind of always finds a way to get it done when he's done, or most of the time he finds a way to get it done.
I don't think there has been a match in which Jordan Burroughs has been within a point with 20 seconds left that he has not won. I mean, obviously he hasn't won. He hasn't lost many matches at all. But the Sidakov match that he lost last year, he was leading and he got taken down or pushed out with short time. So he was the defensive wrestler in that position. As soon as he was down, as soon as they challenged, right? Because it was in the first match, he initially got the score and it was 5-4. They reviewed it. They realized the push out was for Aymar. Aymar went up 5-4, 20 seconds left. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that Aymar can not get scored on in 20 seconds. Jordan Burroughs is the most dynamic wrestler, has the greatest skill set to push you out and to find a way to at least score a push out, if not a takedown, which he ultimately got. And that's the last place that I would want to be against Jordan Burroughs. I wouldn't want to be anywhere with Jordan Burroughs, but 20 seconds left, up by 1.
It's got to be safe to say that he has won more matches in the last 30 seconds than any wrestler in the history of international wrestling. It's got to be. Yeah. It's like unreal how many he's won with. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, we got to move on. We got
that could open up a whole other bag of worms, but we'll save that for.
Well, we had a little debate right after.
Walking back from Final X, we had a little discussion.
Hey, people out there, comment on this video whether you believe that Jordan Burroughs has the X factor, the what did you call it? The clutch gene,
whatever it is that what does he have?
Grit that makes him a better wrestler, or does he just simply have a better wrestling skill set than his competitors?
Yeah, is he just a better wrestler, or does he have some intangible, mysterious thing? Gilman Fix.
Pretty sweet,
awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Almost not quite as good as Yanni Zane, but real close. Fix looked a lot like Yanni in a lot of situations where Gilman's in and you're like, there's no way he doesn't get this, and somehow Fix goes to a stalemate or just gets out of it.
Well, I was in the exact same boat where I thought Gilman takes match 2. Okay, he's gonna win match 3. It's so hard to imagine the guy with the momentum losing when it's that close, but props to both, obviously, Jordan Burroughs and Dayton Fix just being like, hey, you know what? Coming back for match 3 and I'm coming hard. I mean, Dayton Fix is, man, that guy he is poised, to say the least, I think.
Is the Thomas Gilman era over?
People are asking that question.
Or is it too early to...
I don't know.
I mean, it's probably too early to tell. I would say
here's the thing.
A year or 2.
I could see, I mean, those matches are so close. I could see Thomas Gilman making the Olympic team next year. Now, will he? I obviously we don't know, but I think it's a strong possibility that he's still in the hunt. Now, if Dayton wins a world championship this year, it's gonna be.
That brings up another question. I feel like Fix's style may be better for Team USA than potentially Gilman's style. Gilman got silver as a first-year world team member. It's kind of on that run where he had to last chance qualifier, goes through the world team trials and makes it, gets silver, and then hasn't medaled since.
Now, Fix, correct me if I'm wrong, but Fix did not medal at Junior Worlds last year, correct?
No, he did not.
But he's obviously a completely different wrestler than he was last year.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
and he's got
well,
it's a different skill set.
well, case in point, Gilman dominated him last year at Final X.
Yep.
It wasn't really close. I mean, wasn't very close anyway.
Well, I'm going to have a different take than you guys have.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Thomas Gilman era is over. Close the book. Move on. You think he's got a shot? It now becomes the Spencer Lee and Dayton Fix show. And we're going to see these two battle it out for the Olympic team next year and for world championships for years to come. I just think that the improvement that Dayton Fix has made in a short year, I thought after watching match one, now props to Thomas Gilman for going back and figuring out what adjustments he needed to make, but you can only make those adjustments for so long. Dayton Fix is doing this right now, and Thomas Gilman is trying to stay flatline. And I do not see him making any jumps to being able to compete with Dayton Fix. And I think even just from hearing his talk in interviews that it sounds like Spencer Lee is getting the best of him in the practice room. So,
He said that?
well, he said he's talked about how difficult it is to train each and every day with Spencer Lee and how it makes him a better wrestler. And I think there's some, I mean, obviously he didn't say I lose to Spencer Lee in the practice room, but the admiration that he has for him and the respect that he has for a sophomore in college leads me to believe that he's going to take over that spot for next year.
Spencer Lee versus Dayton Fix. Final X next year? Well, it's not Final X. It's going to be Olympic Trials. That's going to, I mean, you got it. This is where I'm just like, man, hey, Spencer Lee has proved us all wrong before in the past. I didn't think he was going to be winning NCAAs this year, but, I mean, the dude's a stud. But this is where it's just like, I've got to believe that Dayton Fix wrestling in Final X last year, Dayton Fix wrestling in Final X this year, winning it, you got to believe that gives him an advantage over Spencer Lee. Hypothetically, they both make it to Final X next year.
If he wins a medal, it most definitely does, because it puts him in the finals of the Olympic team trials.
Yep.
So then Spencer Lee would have to fight through Thomas Gilman and all of the other absolute hammers that we have at that weight class. So the other thing that'll be interesting to see what happens at 61 kilos. Are guys going to come down, make the cut? Is Joe Colon? We were at a UNK team camp where Joe Colon's at. It sounds like he's going to be making the cut to 57 pounds, which makes my mind absolutely blow.
57 kilos, yeah.
But there's going to be some other studs there as well, either coming down or coming up. But man, I feel bad for those 61 guys that just basically don't have a spot
that's
at
rough.
the Olympics.
But if Tyler Graff medals, my understanding is if Tyler Graff medals in the Olympic or the World Championships this year, he gets to sit out until the semifinals of the Olympic trials next year. So that's something.
At whatever weight he goes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so that's kind of interesting.
What if he's like, put me at
I'm
92 kilos.
Semis.
I'm sitting on that semis.
Yeah, that'd be something. Green Deacon. Green just went smash hammer.
18-second tech fall.
We can go through these pretty quick, I think, these next couple.
Green Deacon, okay. Let's use this as a platform to talk about
leg laces.
My father's opinion, which is limit the leg lace to two consecutive exposures.
It used to be that. You get two on a lace. I think you get as many guts as you want.
No, it used to be. Well, back in the day,
two to lace. This was a while ago, but I remember it being two for a lace.
Back in the day, it was. I believe it was. You could do one gut. You had to do a trapped arm gut. If you wanted to do multiple gut wrenches, you had to do a trapped arm gut. You had to hold him for one exposure point, let him back over.
Gut, that's better than a lace.
Well,
probably.
Yeah, I mean,
similar.
Yeah,
very similar.
So I don't know. I would not like to. I don't want to see it limited to two consecutive laces because I think it's exciting. Like that was exciting. Like when Green went out. I mean.
Yeah,
and
unless your guy is the one in the lace. Like we all wanted Greasy to win. So
it doesn't happen frequently enough to be like, this is dramatic. Because I mean, then James Green, it was a closer match.
It almost happened in Graff Cologne though.
It did happen.
Or it did happen, yeah.
Yeah, Graff Cologne.
But did they go out of bounds before? Or was it tech?
No, he teched him.
He
teched him.
Match 3. Yeah, I could see it both ways. I'm kind of with you, Keenan. It's like, Yeah, it's kind of unfair if you get it. If you get a lace, it's pretty much over. But the same thing with the headlock, the same thing with the twister, the same thing with
that's
you know,
a
it's
pin,
like
though.
you have to know what you have to defend in order for the match not to be over,
Yeah.
right? But it gives you an opportunity. Like just because a guy gets you on a lace once doesn't mean that you can't kick out and get your legs apart.
but you still have the opportunity for a
the
pin.
chances are not good.
Yeah.
But you still have an opportunity for a pin, so you're like throwing another Hail Mary in there. I think, as opposed to like if you really break down what is wrestling, it is can you physically hold another man on their back? That is like the base of wrestling. You see it with like dogs. Like they do it. They try, it's like a natural thing. That's the point of wrestling is to hold somebody on their back. That's why a pin is worth the most points. That's why I think it's like essentially it is a pin, but it's not to where I don't know.
That's why I always sleep on my stomach.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Even though that's why I got back problems.
Just in
legs
case.
apart?
Just in case.
Just in case somebody
knees
laces
apart.
I just sleep like that. I sleep like
That's
that.
yeah.
My brother.
when-
I think my brother, he's watching right now.
Is he?
Yeah. He's,
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah. Well, you could. Yeah. And
Hi, Ryan.
I believe he used to say he slept like this.
Okay.
To where you couldn't even pin him in his
He
sleep.
does.
Ryan.
I tried to jump on him
Ryan,
once.
that is false.
I tried to
No.
jump on him once when he
Yeah.
was asleep,
Yeah.
and I headlocked
No.
him, and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, he might fight it afterwards.
All right, but hey, one of my highlights of the Final X was Green. When he gets on the jumbotron, they challenge, and everyone's like 1, 2.
Yeah, that was
3,
incredible.
4, get out of here.
That was incredible. That's
That
like in
was sick.
basketball where they're like left, right, left, right, left. That was wrestling's version of basketball right there.
That was fun.
That was legit.
So James Green making another world team, but again,
Fifth
man,
world team, I believe.
yeah, awesome. But he's got to go up to 74 kilos next year. It's like, man,
Or
let's make this happen, or go
Dude.
down. But that didn't go well last time for him.
yeah, but hey, you could be a diet thing. Who knows?
Yeah. A diet thing?
No, I don't know.
Tyler Graff, I feel on cloud 9 for that guy. Don't even know him, but 8 years trying to make the world team, and he finally does it. And he just, oh my gosh, I freaking love that guy. I hope he wins it.
Dude, all right.
He's gonna win
Okay.
it. He's gonna win it.
Fake crying though.
No,
Like,
okay.
come on,
He-
bro. I was like, yo, I'm happy, and then I'm like, all right, now I don't want this guy.
Imagine if you, what
was
do
a
you?
fake
You're a
cry.
U.S.
Wait,
soccer
I think
guy.
it started as a real cry, and then it turned to something else. Either that, not a great cry.
Okay.
Not a great cry face.
That's what makes it legit.
Dude,
Is if
I
it's a
don't
bad,
have a
if you got a bad cry face, then you know it's legit.
Yeah, okay. Get a better cry
All
face,
right.
bro.
You like U.S. soccer? U.S. soccer doesn't win the freaking World Cup for how long's it been since we won
I
the
would
World
cry
Cup?
if we won the World Cup.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
it'd
it's
it looked
my
like
country.
a fake cry.
We all would cry.
I wouldn't cry. I
would
don't care
cry.
about soccer.
You're stupid.
Football.
All right. Snyder Gadsden, dude. Let's skip it.
No. Okay. So, interesting part. Okay. Kyle Snyder. It potentially is going to be the best U.S. wrestler ever. Kyvan Gadsden is what? He's 3 years older than him?
He's
He was a senior when Snyder was a freshman.
yeah. I guess that's right.
So, 3 years older.
Why'd you ask the question if you already knew the answer?
Yeah,
Well,
that was-
he could be 4.
he wanted to
He
prove it
could
to
be
us.
4.
Is it
he
3?
Could be
Is it
4.
3? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, no. I know it is.
Well, if he didn't redshirt or if he did redshirt, that's a year.
All right. Fair enough.
It could make a difference.
All right.
Okay.
Stand corrected.
After he gets tacked in the second match,
Yeah.
I somewhat loudly say, "Yo, Gadsden, retire, bro."
Jeez,
I know,
man,
I
you're
know,
a bad
I know.
person.
I was.
You were in the
amongst-
moment.
I was amongst friends, and I was just, I was saying,
Hey.
I was talking a little tea. One of our wrestlers, Max Mayfield, sitting right next to me. He goes, he's been on a recruiting trip to Iowa State. He goes, dude, his wife is sitting right next to me.
Oh my
She was
gosh.
sitting, what would be on the other side of Keenan when I said that quite loudly. Kyvan Gadsden, I'm actually going to still, if you're watching this, which you will be, obviously, I stand by what I said, but if I see you in public, I will run. Because you would
Case in point.
very much put me in pain.
Case in point. Tyler Graff. Everybody,
Oh,
everybody was probably telling him to retire.
Yeah, bro, retire.
Everybody
dude.
was. He's a United States World Team member.
Yeah,
now.
he could be like an accountant somewhere. making
And he beat a
way
bronze
more
medal.
money.
He beat a bronze medalist to do
Hey,
it.
I bet Pat Downey didn't think he was gonna be on the world team.
Nope.
Now he's on the world team.
What other options?
Our good
Apologize to
friend.
Gadsden's mom right now.
Our good friend Austin.
No, it's a
Austin
Gadsden's
Troutman.
wife.
Do I have
Or
to keep
yeah.
wearing this?
Yes, the
That's-
whole
that
time,
is-
bro.
No, don't.
Yes,
It's.
no,
I'm
you do.
embarrassed.
All right, but I'm gonna do it the cool way.
No,
I'm
just one of us
embarrassed
have
for
to
you,
say something
yeah.
dumb. Yeah, like after you won.
You just won a match. You get to
Sweet,
flip the
man.
headgear sideways.
Sweet. All right, yeah. Hey, Snyder looked good. He had some sweet guts.
Yeah, he was looking filth like usual.
But he had some gut wrenches, which he normally
He was also
doesn't
wearing
do.
Captain America singlets.
Sick.
Yep.
Good look.
Those Rudis singlets.
Also,
Big
but
Rudis
here's
fan.
one thing I gotta say about Snyder, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, catch your breath better for interviews, bro. I get anxiety when I listen to his post-match interviews. He's like, well, I was gonna...
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, just like...
Why are you so critical?
How
I don't
would you
know,
know?
man. I can't listen to it. I seriously get like a weird feeling. I'm like, I gotta listen. Can't do this. Like,
That-
let me read the transcript.
That
I want to know
literally-
what he says, but I
that
can't
doesn't-
listen to the way he says it. He just
He was
breathes heavy.
He was not breathing even hard after.
Listen to every interview.
He breathes pretty hard.
Yeah.
That's because he
Yeah.
tries really, really hard. So we're good.
Because he's a
friends with
try
Joel.
hard.
Yeah, he goes hard. That's why he's good. I'm just
And he,
change like. I don't know.
He's a try hard.
Get
That's
your
it.
natural. Like, just wait. Say you won't do interviews until.
In a good sense.
So you
you
can
can't
breathe
do that.
normal.
You can't just say, "Hey, I'm gonna not do an interview right now."
You're Captain America. You can do whatever you want.
That's true.
All right, here's the deal, boys. We got about 20 minutes left. We got some
No,
fun
we
stuff.
don't.
We got
can do this,
some.
We can do this as long as we want.
Well, yeah,
You're
some of
gonna
us have
stay awake either
bedtime.
way. Oh yeah.
Some
or
of us
no,
have
or
bedtimes.
no one's listening live.
Well, you don't know that.
What do you have
Ryan
to wake
Etherton
up
is.
for?
I got stuff. I got things going on. All right, Brock Lesnar, Anthony Casser. We're starting.
This is a segment we like
What
to
are
call
you talking
Who-
about, Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, this is a segment. Sorry,
little
he
segue.
got a little excited there. It's called Who Would Win, where we break down
New segment.
hypothetical wrestling matches.
Are these wrestling matches or
And,
are they
and-
MMA,
No, obviously,
that'd be interesting.
obviously this is going
We
to be a
do
wrestling
different
match.
disciplines.
judo,
Oh,
jiu-jitsu?
Well, I think we have to talk about which style we're in and
Chess.
what it's going to be. But first one, Brock Lesnar v. Anthony Casser and or Cassar.
who would win? I
Cassar.
need to come up with a cool little.
Also known as Tony, because he's from Jersey.
I'm gonna come up with a cool little like jingle
Yeah,
for
like
this. Who would win? Who would win? Would a bit a bit win?
All
right, So who would win? Brock Lesnar, senior year.
Yeah, so we're going folk
University of Minnesota Golden Gophers.
National champ.
Looked like the Incredible Hulk ate some sort of.
A G.I. Joe.
He
Got the
ate a
bzz,
GI
bzz,
Joe.
He's got that butt. He's got that real high and tight, you know? Vietnam style.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was like the Incredible Hulk meets G.I. Joe
So we
meets
got-
some sort of weird like.
So we got like a big
Avengers
We
experiment.
got like a meat stack versus a Guido.
All right, let's get into this.
All right. Folk
Goodness
style.
gracious.
Senior year, University of Minnesota national champ v. Tony Casa, a Penn State national champ, first year varsity wrestler essentially, national
Casser.
champ.
Like, he's not.
Who's by the way got his fit last year back. So he's
Well,
now senior.
he could technically he's eligible
Come back
for
too.
He's
Two
eligible
more.
for two more.
Oh wow. Oh nice.
Anthony
Didn't know that.
Casser, undefeated. No, not undefeated.
He's
one
way
loss.
smaller,
One
way
loss.
smaller.
He's not. Well, at the time, I think Lesnar.
I mean,
Was,
he had to make weight. It's
yeah.
275 then.
Yeah, he was probably.
So he had to be 275, but he was probably all
He-
of 275.
He was probably pretty close to the.
I mean,
limit.
I've seen pictures of him. Or video. He's massive. But
Huge.
Honestly, I think, and part of this is based off of watching Lesnar fight as well in the years like following, but I don't think he's that great of a wrestler. Like as far as just like straight up wrestling.
well, yeah, like technically no, but physically yes. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Derek White was a big dude. I'm not gonna say I don't know if he was all of 285, but
No,
he was
not even
way
close.
bigger than Kasser.
No,
and
he's like-
I would say more technical than Lesnar.
No.
and so
well, oh, yeah, he's more technical than Lesnar. He only weighed about
he's not.
250.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, I think he only weighed like 250.
Did you see him weigh in,
Didn't
bro?
old Cowboy Bulk Job? Didn't he weigh like 250? I don't know. Anyway,
Wait, what? What do you call him?
They call him
Cowboy
bulk
job.
job.
What do you mean? What do I call him? Everybody
Dude,
calls
you know
him
him,
that.
bro? You text me?
Yes.
Yo,
Everybody.
what up, CBJ?
You've been living
What's
under a
up,
rock,
dude?
Coach.
You have been
Yeah.
living under a rock if you don't know he's
You've been in
Cowboy Bulk
Vietnam
Job.
for too long.
Yeah.
All right.
Old Cowboy Bulk Job.
Let's keep going here. What do you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I gotta go Casser just for technique style and the way that he's beaten other big guys.
I'm going Casser purely based off the fact that he beat Gable Steveson, which gives me an inkling into how good he is.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Brock Lesnar simply for the fact that Cowboy the Bulk Job beat him.
Did you watch the national finals?
I did. But
So he lost.
Derek
to-
White is not nearly as good as Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is bigger, stronger, and a better wrestler
Right.
than Derek White.
Well, either way, it's 2-1. You lose.
Yeah.
So,
Fine.
Next
Sorry.
one.
All right.
This is the one.
Would
I've
this
been
make a
waiting
good
for a while.
podcast? Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Dude, we all just agree. That's what we do.
I actually do
Who
believe
would-
that Brock
Who
Lesnar
would
is
win?
Win.
Now, this is the one I've had
Who
on my
would
mind
win?
for quite a while.
Let's call this the 3 W's.
Yeah.
W cubed. It'll be
Yeah.
the name of this segment. W cubed. Who would win? LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow,
Yep.
or LeVar Burton from Star Trek. Now I have to see if I can
So
get,
he's the guy with
I'm gonna see if I can get these
with
pictures
the
pulled
thing
up.
across his eyes.
You guys talk about it.
So
Well, let's have Drew talk about it.
yeah. I've this one's kept me up at night a few times. I go
Really?
back and forth. Yeah. So LeVar Burton, born in 57, so almost my dad's age, but started reading Rainbow at
got
a
a
very
Wikipedia
I got a little
up here.
Wikipedia page up here. Okay. Started reading Rainbow in 80. Hold on, wait for
Whoa,
it.
he started
Dude,
Reading Rainbow?
Yeah, in the eight. No, well, he was the first. I mean, what was his name? I don't even know what his name was there, but was in Star Trek for. In hold on, and it's right here. 98. Okay. No. 87. 87. My bad.
That's all right.
Started reading Rainbow in 83, so he's a little bit younger. So I'm
Oh.
thinking that younger LeVar Burton, a 4-year younger LeVar Burton, if we go at the start of their careers, start of Reading Rainbow, start of Star Trek, I gotta go with the younger one. And I actually didn't know that until I started doing research for this podcast because I knew this question was coming up.
You've been prepping for this
Yeah,
question.
I've been prepping for it because so it's something I've always thought for a while.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna have to go with the younger LeVar reading Rainbow, although he's reading children's books to children.
Okay.
And the other one, he's fighting like aliens. I gotta go with the younger, more spirited LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen Reading Rainbow?
Yeah, man. I can fly in the sky. I go everywhere. I don't know.
No, you are
Okay,
wrong.
so obviously you haven't
Where
seen
to
Reading
go?
Rainbow.
When to go? Reading Rainbow.
I
can go anywhere. Friends to
know.
know. Friends, places to go.
All right, I think we're good.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
the
All right,
viewers
this
are
is,
so-
this is derailing big
okay,
time.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Thank you.
Reading Rainbow was one of my childhood favorites, and that guy could do no wrong, and the good guy always wins, right?
Always?
Yep.
Does the good guy literally always
Yep,
win?
That's why Pat Downey's on the
Always.
national team.
All right, here's the deal. I'm gonna
Yeah,
compare
come
these.
here,
I'm gonna
beat you
put
up.
these images up. I'm gonna put these images up on the screen right now for our viewers to watch,
Yeah.
and we're gonna compare. And because I think this is gonna sway our decision.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Oh.
Young, yeah, there he is. On the left, younger.
Oh my goodness. Okay. First of all,
right thumb is up, like, hey, good
He's
luck,
like-
man.
Dude, he's choosing top, bro. When someone chooses top, you better have fear in your eyes.
oh my.
If someone
goodness.
looked at me and they're
Crap,
like this,
coach, what do I do?
bing, I'm like, oh, dang, man, that guy, he must be Cal Poly. What was his name? National champ.
Derek. What?
Derek.
What is it?
Oh yeah.
Derek Moore.
Yeah, Derek Moore.
He's
Yeah.
so nasty. If that dude chose top, I'd be
Okay,
done.
here's the deal. LeVar Burton in Star Trek is basically a superhero. He was blind and he wore the thing over the eyes that gave him senses. It gave him. He's basically like
You're choosing a
Daredevil.
blind man over a guy who reads books for a living.
Yeah, have you seen Daredevil?
No, I haven't.
Dude can freaking basically hear something
but-
like 15 miles
Yeah,
away.
but that's because he's been blind his whole life. Now he's just been blind for 4 years. He's like, he still doesn't. He probably can't even like wipe his butt right.
You are wrong. Correct yourself.
Well, at least he doesn't know
Dude,
when he's
he's
done
wrong.
wiping.
He's wrong.
Oh my goodness.
You always got to check.
Unbelievable.
All right, so are you going Star Trek over there, Keenan?
I'm going LeVar Burton Star Trek.
Weak.
Well, 2-1, you lose.
Yes.
Yes, I've won every one so far.
We gotta make sure we agree
All
on
right.
this one.
Yeah, no, it means I probably have to go first
Yeah.
so that I can't win.
Yeah, good call.
Silverback gorilla versus a grizzly bear.
Gorilla for sure, and that's because have you seen the butt on a gorilla? That thing, thick.
Yeah.
They got the hand that that hamstring. They got like real strong legs, and I feel like they're smarter than a bear. A bear's kind of just like probably has only this move, like maybe one of those. And we don't even know. This is a fight, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know that they're
Well, I don't
gonna
think
settle
they can-
down for a regulation freestyle match.
Probably not.
Go for exposure.
If it was
Well,
like a
but
takedown tournament.
that was why I was trying to get the question is who would win, because I feel like in a fight it's most definitely a silverback gorilla.
Okay.
Thank
you
you.
guys are so
Thank
far
you.
off base. I can't even tell you.
But if it's a wrestling
can't
match,
even
if we're
tell
talking
you.
strategy here, a gorilla might get like DQ'd for slamming him,
Okay.
you know, and so it
Oh.
changes it a little bit.
Dude, I
First
didn't
of
even,
all-
dude. I didn't think about that.
No,
Yo, man.
no.
Because I was like,
First
I was
of
thinking
all,
one of those.
not even-
Greco gorilla back to gorilla because 5-5 done.
Okay,
Match
here's
Yeah,
the deal.
but-
No, not even a chance that a silverback gorilla can pick up a full-grown grizzly. Okay,
Not
okay,
a
here's the
chance.
deal.
Hold
No,
on
not a chance.
Do you
There's
know
not,
how
not
long
even possible.
gorillas
second.
are?
No,
How,
not even possible.
Average
And
size.
a
Look up
silver
full-grown
gorilla
grizzly.
lift.
Yeah, they. Guys, here's the deal. This should. you
Okay,
guys-
well, I hope a grizzly bear weighs over 1,800 pounds.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, really?
Yup, look it up.
Okay.
hold on, Brown. Like, is that just a grizzly?
Also, it's not like the grizzly's gonna sit there like a dead sack
Oh,
of potatoes.
dude, 600 pounds. He's
Okay, no.
He's doing this with two of them.
No.
Yeah, and he's just hucking them. 600 pounds.
600 pounds.
Male gorilla. Inland area.
Yeah, gorilla.
An inland
a male
gorilla.
gorilla, you ding-a-ling. Look up a grizzly.
Yeah, that's what
No,
I
no,
just
that
looked
was
up.
a grizzly. That is a grizzly. A
Grizzly
gorilla,
bear.
A gorilla's like 400
600
pounds.
pounds.
Yeah, so a grizzly weighs more, but
Okay, they can get up to 1,800 pounds.
dude, that's 3 gorillas, dude.
Yeah,
I will say that.
exactly.
Hold on, I will say this. Like the average weight
Exactly.
of the average weight of a human is like, let's just say of a male.
Look
like,
up
let's just
right
say
now.
200 pounds. There are 600 pound people.
Look
I
up
guess.
average
Probably.
Oh yeah,
gorilla.
can get up to 1,800 pounds right
Oh,
here.
dang.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
Yo, but
Actually,
that's like
there's
his
nowhere-
max bench.
I-
That's
I
like his
made that up.
max lift. So
Yeah.
he can still do
Oh,
it.
so this grizzly bear's gonna
maxing
lay
out, bro.
dead
Yeah.
dead weight.
Dude,
He's gonna lay dead weight for him.
those hunks
This
of
is a
thigh?
Guys,
stupid
here-
question.
hey, this-
Whoever asked this question.
You guys should know how stubborn I am, and how little I change my opinion. I used to be Team Gorilla. I actually changed my opinion.
Okay, change my mind.
Easy to
Silverback gorilla. Silverback gorilla, or excuse me, full-grown grizzly has a bite force that is stronger than silverback gorillas.
Yeah, gorillas don't bite.
A
I don't think. I don't
their
know.
neck
Actually.
fat silverback or a full-grown grizzly has like 50 pounds of neck fat, just pure neck fat. There's no
Yeah,
way.
he's not gonna
What's
throw
the
a rear
gorilla?
naked
What
choke on
is
him.
it? That's his only. What's a gorilla gonna do? How's a gorilla gonna kill him?
He's gonna.
Is he gonna
do
Donkey
like, you know,
Kong
he's
him?
gonna do that thing where he
He's
wipes
gonna
his
thump
butt
him?
and then he just puts it in the.
He's gonna thump him. He's not gonna Donkey
goes
Kong
back.
him.
Yeah, bro.
He's not. The grizzly bear has freaking ginormous claws, takes a swipe at cuts the silverback gorilla's trachea,
I'm annoyed by this question. Let's move on.
bleeds out.
That's a terrible take.
Great question.
You are wrong in the whole thing because we went
Yep.
2 for 2.
Yep.
I'll-
I'm 100% on all mine.
No, you lost the first one.
No,
I know,
didn't
but
lose. I won.
you lost 2 of them.
So you guys are wrong. You guys are dead wrong.
But you're the
There's a
loser.
video to actually prove
Oh,
this.
Joe Rogan, they talked about gorilla and
Yeah.
grizzly. Didn't know that.
I guarantee
Oh, I didn't know that.
we're gonna watch that and we're gonna report back on it next week.
That's fine. We will.
All right. So hot takes.
I want
here
to
we
do
go.
this real quick. 2 questions. We're gonna go for or against. Or against. I'm gonna or whichever way you wanna answer this, and then we're going to discuss it later. Okay.
Okay.
There's been a proposal out that the high school weight classes are going to go to 14 to 12. Are you for or against it? Keenan, go.
Against.
Against.
For. Female high school wrestling, should it be freestyle or folk style?
Scholastic.
Let's kick him off his own podcast.
Yeah, folk style. You're out.
Dang it, that means I have to go freestyle. No, I'm going folk style too. Okay.
Are we not going to discuss
So
this
let's
at all?
discuss.
Why
Let's
no?
discuss.
Why do you want 12?
Why do you want 12? Do you seriously want 12 weight classes?
Okay.
Like what's the
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Okay.
Don't give me this
I was
garbage
just
about.
talking with my friend Trey Otley. He's from Thermopolis, Wyoming.
Oh my gosh. I know
He
where
actually
this
is 4.
going.
He's actually 14 weight classes. But he talked about how difficult it is to fill 14 weight classes when you're in a smaller school.
Let's go 3.
I think of this.
Why don't we go 3 weight classes?
That doesn't help you fill 14 weight classes in your school. We're talking about setting up a lineup for a duel, okay? And I think we're in a Class A school. Granted, we're in Nebraska, but this is the largest class. And it's difficult, right? To find 14 guys that are experienced in the sport of wrestling that you feel comfortable saying, hey, you're going to go wrestle a varsity tournament. That's difficult to do. I mean, there's been times, now that we've gotten better in the last couple of years, we haven't had this problem as much, but we've had to, kind of talk about, should we put this guy into a varsity tournament or should we not? And for a dual setting to have forfeits go, it's so frustrating to me when guys are getting forfeits all the time. And I think what's the best thing for the sport? And I'm going to be, this is not an opinion, like everybody's on Facebook right now saying support 14 weight classes. Now, I think the proposal's stupid. I think the proposal is, getting rid of the lightest weight class is absolutely asinine. Because everybody that likes wrestling, everybody that dedicates their sport to wrestling is lighter. Let's face it, wrestling is a sport for everyone, but it's even more so important for the lighter kids because they're the ones that are dedicating themselves to the sport of wrestling, where the bigger kids are playing football and they've got a lot of other opportunities, basketball and different sports, whereas the lighter kids have dedicated their lives to the sport of wrestling. So I would be in favor of changing to 12 weight classes, but making sure we keep the lighter weight classes.
So, but would that then say you can enter 14 kids into a tournament?
I would be a fan of that.
Okay, so if you're not eliminating the opportunity for at least 14 kids from your school to compete at the district and state tournaments, then that's a different discussion.
Here's my question to you. Why 14? Who set on 14 and why was that the right number?
But if that's true, there's no good, I guess, solid number, but it's like, why have 3-4 different schools or classes? Sorry, 4 different classes in Nebraska. Why doesn't every state just go like California and go 1? More opportunity, which then grows. And I don't know what the number is. Is it 20? I have no idea. Is it 14? But I think you have to go by what the average size of high school students are, and then
wrestlers,
and then figure that out.
I think we got to make sure we focus on wrestlers.
Okay, yeah, high school wrestlers, but some people aren't wrestlers and then become wrestlers. So there's a lot of coaches who will go out and get kids because they don't have a heavyweight or a 220 or a 106 or
agreed. But that would be my argument for. We're eliminating the lightest weight class. Let's say we should get rid of 106 because that's where the most forfeits are. And actually that's statistics that would hurt my argument right now. But because kids don't weigh 106 anymore, that we make 110 the first weight class. Well, the problem is you take all the 95 pounders that Jeff Rutledge was his freshman year, and you take them out of an opportunity that literally. That's what he does. He wrestles. The lightest guy that is your 106 pounder is been a wrestler his whole life, and then you add a 220 where you just find a kid in the hallway that, hey man, we don't have everybody at this weight class, so you're gonna get a varsity letter because you can walk and chew gum.
Yeah.
If we're trying to find the guys that deserve a varsity spot, the guys that have actually have the skill to compete at the varsity level, then we need to, I would say. These are I've thought about this. I think somebody, I can't remember, I can't take credit for this, but very simple, basic. 100 pounds. That's where you start.
I think we were talking about this.
110. Was this you?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, props to you.
Every 10 pounds.
Good work. Yeah.
Up
120, 130,
Yep.
140, 150, 160, 170.
Went all the way up to 90 to 200.
180, 190,
200.
I think this is okay, let's do a 220 now. And that's
200.
285. That's 12.
220.
Guys, 10-pound jumps
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the little
that's-
guys.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a way bigger percentage of their body weight than a 180 pounder to a 190
So
pounder.
then cut them down. Yeah,
That's-
I mean, there's no great. That's
it
why when
doesn't.
they switch
We
the
don't
weights,
need. It
they-
doesn't need to be nice and neat.
Yeah.
Like as far as weight wise, I don't. Who cares if it's 100 or 101?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It should be more weight classes at the lower weights because that's a higher percentage of their body per jump per weight. Per
Or maybe
weight.
you come up with a percentage jump per weight, and then
Yes.
you just do that.
Yeah, I would
So
be.
it's like,
I would be
what
okay
would
with
it be?
that.
Like 6%. Let's go 100, 106, whatever 6% of 106 is. Then you go up, and then I don't know what that's going to.
Okay, why does
will
there
get
need
further
to
as it
be?
goes
I
on.
remember back when Iowa used to not have the 215-pound weight class. Or maybe it was the other way around. No, yeah. We would go and wrestle in Iowa now this wasn't when I was in high school. It was when I was a young pup, going to a young blood, going to go watch my father's team. We would wrestle in Iowa, and they did not have a 215-pound weight class. And so what my dad would have to do is he would have the 215-pounder and the heavyweight. They would just have to alternate matches at heavyweight because Iowa did not have a 215. Now, where I'm going with this is why do we not just have more weight classes for Class A than we do for Class D? I mean, in some states, I realize you have different classifications, but as far as Nebraska is concerned, let's go 14 weight classes for Class A, go 13 for Class B, 12 for C, and 11 for D.
Or just yeah.
There's still a lot of forfeits in Class A.
Not many. I mean, and then I think you got to ask yourself the backside of this argument is how much does that then fall on coaches and them recruiting kids out of their hallways and getting kids out of their hallways to join the wrestling team and to become wrestlers. I mean, if you've got 2,000 kids in your school, I personally believe there's no reason why you shouldn't have 14 wrestlers on the team. Now, I'm not going to say that you should be able to put together a state championship team or whatever, or I'm not going to say how good the team should be because I think each coach is working with different demographics, different socioeconomic demographics for introduced lunches, all that. So I'm not trying to say how good the team should be, but if you've got 2,000 students, I think you should be able to get, 20-ish wrestlers out for your team to fill 14 weights.
At least after a certain point, maybe not your first year, and you just don't have that much participation.
Yeah, I mean, I've had forfeits, so I get it. I'm not trying to point the finger too much. Like I've been the coach before in a class with 2,000 or in a school with 2,000 kids, and I've had my first year coaching. I had 2 open weights, so I've been there, and I get that it's not easy, but I'm kind of I'm trying to own some of that. I think I should have done a better job of trying to go out there and find a 106 pounder or 113 pounder and get them out for the team and get them out there. Now, I know people make the argument of, like, well, what good does it do to just find some kid off the hallway and throw him out in a wrestling singlet and get him and have him get pinned every single match? Well, I would say my answer to that is he might not be getting pinned every single match by the time he's a senior. He might be winning matches.
Yeah.
But I guess the point is what's best for that kid. Would the best thing for that kid to be wrestling or competing at his skill level and to be having some successes, to actually be able to try taking a shot or take a low single and find success, or just get slammed and pinned right away?
I agree with you that by and large, what's best for that kid is to compete at their skill, closer to their skill level. I definitely agree with that. However, each kid is an individual. I mean, and it's just tough because, and that's, this is not a perfect world scenario that we live in. Hopefully most of the kids on the team do get to compete at their skill level, either whether that be junior varsity or varsity. But sometimes, given the circumstances, some kids might not get to, and that for that particular kid might be okay. I mean, the case in point is your older brother who got pinned every single match his freshman year of wrestling and became a 2-time state medalist. So it's, each kid's an individual, and it's just it's not an easy solution. But
my point is what other sport would a kid come in and be completely foreign to something, and their skill will be very, very, very low in that given sport, and then you're in varsity because this is what you weigh.
Yeah, there might not be other sports where that happens, but why does that make it wrong?
Like I said, I think.
Well, maybe you just. What's the value of a duel, and does every team need to duel? Does your team need to be a duel team? Like, maybe you just say, yeah, we don't duel. We don't care about state duels. We don't care about dueling our rivals. Well, they just, yeah.
But I think that...
Because, I mean, up until we had state duels were just something to do during the week, kind of.
That's almost a whole nother conversation. Is maybe we should just go do duels. Maybe that's more fan friendly. I just saw it.
Well, no. Maybe you just go duels, or maybe some schools just say, yeah, we don't do duels.
And I think that makes...
Unless we have a team, maybe you can forego maybe like, yeah, we're not a dual team. We're a tournament team because we have, we just don't have enough people. And so then you don't have all these forfeits and...
But I feel like that makes poor wrestling then. Then the product...
Well, maybe
we'll go to a wrestling duel.
You have that in smaller school divisions, and then like a Class A school, it's like, okay, you should be able to field at least enough to where you're not forfeiting half the weights to where you automatically lose the duel.
But we wrestle some teams that almost forfeit half. I mean, we've been in duels in which they forfeited half of the weight classes.
Yeah.
And it makes very poor wrestling and a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. It's poor wrestling. It's a waste of people making weight. It's a waste of a weight cut. But, I mean, maybe that's where an AD should look more into why do you have a school that has this many kids and this is all we can put on the mat.
Yeah. So
I don't think I don't think we should dumb down duels for schools that have this many kids. We should maybe that's like an internal thing. Like, if you're forfeiting, let's just say 6 weights in an important matchup, focus on like there's some other issue. Like, or if you choose to forfeit matches when you don't have to. I don't know. So
14 weight classes, 12 weight classes, which is best?
14.
12.
Yes, dude, I'm killing it tonight.
You still did not answer why 14 is the best.
Hey, let's do this, gentlemen. We got to get rolling. Coach Rutledge, you're going to tell us what we're talking about next week, and then we are going to outro. And
we didn't talk about female high school wrestling.
And it is past our bedtime.
We didn't talk about female high school.
It's going to be for next week.
Yeah, we're gonna move female high school wrestling. Whether you believe that it should be freestyle or folk style. So the debate is partly because college female wrestling is currently freestyle wrestling. High school obviously is folk style, so a lot of states are starting to sanction girls wrestling, and the debate is whether it should be freestyle or folk style because they're going to transition eventually to freestyle for college. So we'll leave that on to the next one, and then we need to go back and need a little bit more time and talk about Final X Rutgers, talk about this controversy with Yanni. Maybe it'll be resolved by next week. Who knows? We can talk about it if it's been resolved. I highly doubt it, so we'll save the Yanni conversation for next week.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote.